It is axiom that the relationship between the slave master and the slave is always characterized with barbarity, inhumanity, and cruelty. As a result, when a slave master informs a slave to do a work or to execute a task, he does not inform him the reasons or the benefits of executing such a task. He always stands at high and command, but not informing the slave what is the benefit of such an act. And we all know, each and every human being, if he comes down to his own self, he will recognize that we are programmed on the path such that if we know the benefits of something, we go for it. But if we do not know the benefits of something, we stay reluctant and we do not go for such a thing. For example, let's say you are thirsty and there is a next door closer to you. If you know that indeed if you go there you shall find water to quench your thirst, you will definitely go there. But if you become certain that if you go there you will not get any water to quench your thirst, then you will feel reluctant and you will not go there. This is something known. So human beings, if we know the benefits of something, we embark upon it, and if we do not know the benefits, we stay reluctant. And this is something which is being programmed within us, and our intellect tells us this thing. Unlike slave masters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Holy Quran, whenever He ordained, prescribed, and enjoined upon us something, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He informs us of the benefits of such a thing. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He created us and He knows what is embedded in us. When we look into the Holy Quran, in Quran chapter 67, verse number 100 and verse number 14, Surah Al-Mulk, what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say in this holy verse? Allah said, أَلَا يَعْلَمُ مَنْ خَلَقَ وَهُوَ اللَّطِيفُ الْخَبِيرُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that, does He not know what He created? He is the one who created us, and He knows what He created. He knows what is embedded in us. He knows what is in our benefit, and He knows what is not in our benefit. He knows what is good for us and what will harm us. He knows the program line that He has programmed within us. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Holy Quran, through His infinite and overwhelming mercy, whenever He prescribes something for us, at most of times He used to tell us the reason and the benefits of enjoying upon us such a thing. If we take Salah as a case study, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Holy Quran, Quran chapter 29, verse number 45, Surah Al-Ankabut, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this surah, what did He say? Allah said, أُتْلُ مَا أُوحِيَ إِلَيْكَ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ وَأَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ تَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنْكَرِ وَلَذِكْرُ اللَّهِ أَكْبَرُ وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ مَا تَصْنَعُونَ. In this verse, what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam that recite what it has been revealed to you from the book, which is the Quran. Allah is telling the Prophet and commanding him to recite the Quran. And also He commanded him to establish the prayer, to keep up to prayer. Someone will say, Ya Allah, if I keep up to prayer, what will I get? What is the benefit of keeping up to prayer? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because He created us and He knows what is embedded in us, and He knows the kind of questions that we shall ask ourselves when reading this kind of verses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immediately after enjoining upon us salah, what did He say? He answered this question immediately by saying, إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ تَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنْكَرِ. He said, indeed, because the salah that you are performing, it keeps off indecency and evil acts. So in this case, if a person performs salah and he is performing salah and always he is increasing in indecency and evil acts, then he must sit down and reform his salah and look into his own self, and he will recognize that there is something wrong with him. So he should correct those things that is wrong within his salah. Because if the salah is established, is prayed as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prescribed for us, then indeed it will keep off from us evil and indecent acts. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stated in the Holy Quran with regards to the benefits of salah.